So far, we've been adding, moving, and tweaking the footage in our sequence. Let's now talk about how to remove material. So for this movie, I'm going to work in these series of montages here. I don't necessarily want to keep working on the project that we've been putting together because I don't want to remove too much from that sequence. All right, so I'm interested in probably removing a couple of shots near the end here. I'll go ahead and play so you can see where we're at. All right, so I'd like to remove this shot here. So a really easy way to do that is to just click on it and then press the delete key on the keyboard. When I do that, notice that it leaves a gap. Now this is called a lift. We're getting rid of material and leaving a gap in its wake. Now in this case, we probably wouldn't keep the gap, but we'd go back, get some B-roll, and fill it in. I'm gonna undo that, Command Z. Now let's say that instead of just lifting out the B-roll, I wanna remove the clip and then not leave a gap, but instead extract the material so that the gap closes up. So I can click on this clip, or you can actually do multiple. I'll go ahead and lasso both of those. And then this time, instead of pressing delete, I'm gonna press Option Delete or Alt Delete on a PC. It removes those clips, and all other clips downstream shuffle down to fill in the gap. I'll Command Z again to go back. All right, so that's lifting a clip and extracting a clip. Now I want to show you the razor tool. So if I wanted to break up a clip and then delete or move the components, I just come over here to the razor tool, and the keyboard shortcut is C for cut. And so I'll go ahead and just press C. And let's say I'd like to sort of break this one up a little bit. I'll keep the first part of it, but I want to get rid of the last part. And I can just press C here. I notice that it broke the clip up into two. Then if I switch back to the selection tool, I can also press V to do that. I can just grab this and move it around, or I can press delete. And I'm gonna undo that again, Command Z, a couple of times to get rid of that cut. If instead of just cutting through this clip, I wanted to cut through all of the tracks on the timeline, I again use my razor tool, but this time, instead of just pressing C to get my razor tool, I'll hold Shift down as I do this, and you'll notice that it sort of turns into a double razor, and I'll click, all right? And you can see that it cut through all of the tracks on the timeline. So sometimes that can be useful. Again, I'm gonna undo Command Z. All right, I'm gonna press V to get back to selection mode. All right, now I wanna talk to you about how to separate your audio from your video. I'm gonna come down to this montage right here. And this one doesn't contain music, but it does contain nat sound from these clips. I'll play it just so you can see. All right, so this clip right here doesn't contain any audio. I want to remove this silence so that I can replace it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, plus. Notice that when I click on this clip, or any clip, both the audio and the video are selected. So to grab just the audio here, I can do a couple things. I can come up to my linked selection and disable that, and now everything that I click on is independent, and I can go ahead and delete that. Let me undo that, because I also want to show you that if you have link selection on and you just temporarily want to unlink your audio and video, you can Option click or Alt click on a PC, and you can see here that my audio and video are independent of one another. If I release the Option key, it's back to normal. All right, so I'm going to Option click here and delete, and then I'm going to trim this over. Notice that when I grab this and trim, both audio and video are selected, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to Option click here on the audio, drag it over, and now we should be in good shape. Okay, so we've got deleting down. We can lift clips, extract clips, cut clips up, and separate our video and audio. However, all of this depends on the boundaries of the clips to perform these deletions. What if I wanted to take out the end of this part of the clip and the beginning of this one? Well, I could use my razor command, C, to cut this up, and I'll have to do a Shift C and a Shift C, and then go back to my selection tool and delete all of this out. And believe me, a lot of editors do this to get the job done, but it's way too many steps. I'm gonna Command Z a couple times, and instead I'm just gonna rely on my trusty in and out points. So I'll just mark an in here and out here. I wanna get rid of both video and audio, so I'm gonna select my audio track, and now I'm gonna press the semicolon key, which corresponds to this on-screen button here. So I'll press the semicolon key, and it's gone. Let me undo that, Command Z, and let's say that I just want to remove the video but not the audio. No problem, I'll just deselect my audio track, again press the semicolon key, and it goes away. Now I'll undo that one more time, and I want to show you one more thing. If I instead want to extract this section, where I don't leave a gap, I'm going to go ahead and select my audio here, And now I'm going to press the apostrophe key and watch what happens. That section of my montage was removed. But let me come over here where there's music and do the same thing. I'll go ahead and mark an in here and an out here. In this case, I don't want to remove my music, so I'll deselect my audio and I'll press the apostrophe key, but it still removed my music. Why would it remove my music when I didn't have the audio selected? Well, the reason is that I have sync locks turned on. Sync locks lock my video and audio together so that they can't get out of sync downstream. I'm going to undo that, Command Z, and I want to show you what happens when I turn sync locks off. Again, I have just video selected. Here are my sync locks right here, so I'm going to toggle them off, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'll press apostrophe. And now it's extracted and it's letting my video and audio get out of sync, which looks like it's good, but if you head downstream, all of this is now out of sync. So that's why sync locks are important. So you've got to be careful, or rather, you've just got to be aware of what's going on here. So I'm going to undo that, Command Z, because we probably need to figure out a different way to make that happen. And I am going to enable sync locks again over here. All right, so it's up to you exactly how you go about removing the material from your timeline. But as you can see, there are a lot of various options to help you get the job done.